Devil in the blue dress, blue. Get my six. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Homesteading Off the Grid, the most popular homesteading channel on the internet that has nothing to do with homesteading. We're not even off the grid. We have electricity, running water, and internet. And who knows what in these woods, brah. So get my six. That means look behind me. All right, so I dusted off another story that was submitted for an upcoming volume, True Hauntings volume, the next, whatever it's going to be, and whatever it's going to be. I got so many irons in the fire right now, but we got some really cool stories that you've not heard. I've never read them here, and they've not been published yet. So I'm going to read you another one today. This one is called Blue Devil. It was submitted by Alan Wainwright. Hello, Mr. Lake. I've been watching your YouTube channel, Homesteading Off the Grid, for years, though I've never commented on the channel. Don't take it personally. I don't comment on any YouTube channels or Facebook pages. I love your October Nights books. I've read them both, and when you announced the publication of your first True Haunting series, I was stoked. I wanted to wait and see if you'd stick with it, as I know many of your ideas on your channel have come and gone like the seasons, and after seeing that you've released 3 as of now, and yes, I've read them all, I determined it was time to submit my story to you. Well, Mr. Wainwright, your story is going to be in one of them, upcoming, probably 4 when I get around to it. I'm about 10 years older than you. Like you, I'm a veteran. I was in the Desert Storm War, and though I know that war pales in comparison to the Iraq war you were in, I can tell you that my time in the war does not. I was one of the troops who was actually there during the very limited fighting. I know that you probably think of that war as an event where all of the Iraqi soldiers simply came at us, the U.S. Army, with their hands held up in the air in surrender, because that's what the news showed. But what I will tell you is that it wasn't quite so pink and rosy. Mr. Wainwright, thank you for your service. I saw some things that I won't write down here, but what is most important about them anyway is the effect they had on me. Like yourself, I couldn't adapt to, quote, normal life when I got home. I tried. I even went to college, but that was a farce. I was older by only a few years than all the other students, and after having been to war, I couldn't stand being in the same room as these naive, life-should-be-fair-minded snots. I dropped out midway through the first semester. After a couple of failed relationships and failed jobs, I said to hell with it, and I expatriated just like you did. I was gone for about 5 years, but instead of going to Southeast Asia like you, I went to Africa. Why Africa? Because it was as far away from Western and Eastern culture as I could get, and I'd had enough of both. I started out in Liberia, but their culture was too like the U.S. They are a repatriated slave state, in case you didn't know, so I moved south from there and settled in Ghana. I actually did know that about Liberia. Liberia is the only country other than the United States that uses feet and yards instead of meters and miles instead of kilometers. And the reason why is because when formerly enslaved people were freed and were expatriated back to Liberia, they took those systems of measurement with them. It became part of the culture. Still is. They use pounds instead of ounces. All right. I lived in a local village along the coast where I was accepted with open arms, though I knew to never trust anyone entirely. I learned their language and their culture, but I could never change the fact that I was an American and that I would always be seen by the locals as an American, and my skin color, I'm white, didn't help. Anyway, I had many strange experiences throughout the years that I lived in Ghana, but there is one that stands out in my mind the most, and after this long-winded diatribe of backstory, I submit it to you now. Mr. Wainwright, this channel might not be about homesteading, but it surely is about long-winded diatribes. You're in the right place. I had a small CC motorcycle that I used for transportation. I would often ride it around on the back roads when I had free time and was bored. Once, while riding my motorcycle, I saw a man sitting by the side of the road. As I drew nearer to him, I realized there was something different about this man. As I passed him, I became aware of what it was. He was blue. He was not wearing a blue outfit, and he hadn't been painted blue with body paint. He was simply blue, and he was naked, which wasn't too uncommon in this part of the world, but I did notice that detail as well. After I'd gone for just a minute or so past the blue man on the side of the road, I began questioning myself. Had I really seen a naked blue man just sitting on the side of the road? I turned around and went back, but he was gone. I stopped and got off my bike and looked around. Though it was quite dusty by the roadside, I saw no evidence that anyone had been there. No footprints, no butt print. He'd been sitting right on the ground. No nothing. It's crazy. It just felt like the temperature dropped by a noticeable degrees. I have to do a walk and talk here soon, see if we can pick up anything following us here after this story. I continued riding, and that evening, while back at the village, I brought up what I'd seen with a few of the locals. These were some guys who were my friends when I had drinking money and who were complete strangers, not to be seen when I didn't. I'm sure you can relate to this phenomenon from your time in the Philippines. Absolutely. Anyway, I told my buddies what I'd seen that day. The blue man sitting naked by the side of the road. They all laughed and laughed and laughed. I asked them why they were laughing, and one of them, Adjo, said, "We know you are only kidding. White man cannot see devil." When Adjo said this, I felt goosebumps rise on my flesh. You see, what Adjo and the boys didn't know, and what I've not mentioned yet here, is that I am octoroon, 1/8 black. My grandmother on my father's side was black, and we have done a family history search, and we know that her family did descend from enslaved people. Actually, her people had been from Ghana and taken by the British to be sold in the West Indies. How her people finally made it to America, we're not sure. Wow, that's interesting. I flew home the following week, and I've been here ever since. This happened a lifetime ago, but the memory of that naked blue devil on the side of the road will haunt me forever. It's no secret who I cheer for when your UVA Cavaliers play against Duke. Hopefully UVA. I wish you and your beautiful family the best, and I look forward to more of your books and videos on YouTube. Alan Wainwright. Thank you, Alan, for your story. So you saw a blue devil in Ghana. Wow. That's pretty creepy. Did you like that story? Let us know in the comment section. Thanks for being here to listen. Thanks for all your support of this channel. Thanks for your support of our Homesteading Off the Grid Facebook page, our Sick Twisted Humor Facebook page. Combined between all of them, there's over 1 million of you now. We appreciate that. Thank you for doing your Amazon shopping by going through our Amazon affiliate store link, which is in the description box below. And remember, you can read all my books on Amazon, print and Kindle, or get autographed copies on Etsy. Those links are in the description box below. Be safe where you are. It's summer as of this recording. Stay hydrated. Drink lots of water. Watch out for those blue devils. See you for more next time. For the most awesome homesteading channel on the internet that has nothing to do with homesteading. Homesteading Off the Grid. Devil with the blue dress. With the blue dress. Devil with the blue dress. Devil with the blue dress.